because we have a right to record any
Sure.
encounter with law enforcement.
Sure.
It did not go on Facebook Live, so that is not true at all. I
heard you narrating it.
It was
My
not.
fault
It
for
was
assuming
not
that
on
was
Facebook
Facebook.
Live. That
You're
was
just
for
recording
me
it. Okay.
and my archives. Number two, I asked the officer a question about the equality report. He was very condescending to me and talked down and said, "I'm not going to get into a debate with you." When Nat,
I
who
was
was a
standing
white
right
guy,
next to her.
when he spoke, he had a conversation with him.
And I
And that's
flat
all it
out,
was.
When
I
heard
flat out
that
asked
tonight,
He
him.
had
I
a
want to get
conversation
that
with
body
him.
camera footage to find
And
out.
that's fine, and that triggered me. That upset me. He was very condescending.
Shouldn't have been.
And I asked him, I said, "I can't have a conversation with you as an officer. I can't do that." That's a problem.
Sure.
That's a problem.
If that's what
and
happened.
then we were just there communicating. I'm giving the kids candy, money for candy. We're building relationships. Community that's what that is with this community. And all of a sudden, all of these unmarked cars, that's a warrior mentality. And we talk about policing, and I understand there's crime. I understand, but just because an area is high crime doesn't give people the right to swarm around cars and ask for IDs and do all that. That's stop and frisk, and it's unconstitutional.
That's not community police.
It's unconstitutional. And how do you think all these little kids, that's their normal? They're seeing the gang unit. I don't want crime either. I want this fixed too. But I mean, this is happening in our community. And we were there a week or so before that, and they said they come and they search our cars, and we have to lock our doors, and we're afraid. They're saying that they're afraid, Mayor Bynum. They're afraid, and I would be too. I did not sleep last night. I was highly disturbed at what happened. I really, really was, and that's all we're saying. But for them to create this narrative that we were being antagonistic, we were just watching out for our community, because too many people are, this is not something that we made up in our head. This is not perceived stuff. People are afraid of the Tulsa Police Department. And what I saw yesterday, if there was not a crime being committed, why did all of these officers come and stand there like they were on a battlefield? If there was a crime being committed, arrest them. Say you're under arrest. Let me know what you're stopping me for. Let me know what you're searching my car for.
And asking IDs for snapping out.
And that's all we're saying. So all of these people were swarming around, and these guys said, "I am shaking, I am sweating. Thank you all." The community out there said, "Thank you for coming out and talking to us."
But and again, I mean, in all of their interactions with them throughout that, the officers, at least from my vantage point, were never anything but
I'm not saying they were not
respectful.
rude, and you're absolutely
and
right, but the
professional.
fact that they were there in their garb in a gang, and they were standing there, all these cars, that right there is escalation alone. That's tension alone. That's what that is.
And I
Just
think
when
that-
you come up into our community with your uniform on and you don't say, "Hey, I'm Officer Rusty. How are you?" And one of them did talk to the kids and say, "How are you?" And the little girl ran the other way. But when you come up into our community and you're not walking and talking and building a rapport, and you don't know my name, that's scary.
Sure.
Little kids there, and all of you all, and if you were in the car and those were your little sons there, what would you feel if all of these cars came from nowhere and swarmed around this one car? Does it take 6 officers to check a VIN number, to run a license plate? Does it take that? That's excessive force. That's what we're talking about. We don't deserve that. We don't deserve that. So if we're going to talk about real community policing, it's simply procedural justice. Policing us the same way you police on the south side of town. That's what that is. Getting out the car, parking the car, walking and talking, and saying, "Hey, this is my name. What's your name?"
I completely agree that that's what we're working
But nobody put it on Facebook Live, but this is what we're doing. We're trying to fix this just like you are. We are. I'm not anti-cop, and I need for the world to know. I'm anti-bad cop, and I want to fix this. We have not been on ground up here every single week fighting for these special meetings to say that all cops are bad. You know Greg, you know Nat, you know me.
Sure.
You know my heart. And so to say that allow that narrative to be out there that we're putting it on Facebook Live. No, that's not my style. There's been plenty of opportunities that I could have said a lot on Facebook, but I've been able to outlast my critics. My brother was slaughtered on the ground, and there's been no accountability. And you think this is a game? It's not a game.
I never said it was a game.
No, I'm
and
just
I will
saying.
never put words in your
I'm just
mouth,
saying.
and
I'm
I will
asking
appreciate
you.
you
I'm
not
saying.
doing
No,
that
I'm
to me.
saying. Do you think this is a game?
No.
I'm not talking to you personally, and that's the problem. We get so defensive. This is real for us. This is real for us.
And it's real for